Favorite two words in the playoffs, Shay. Game 7. That's what the Rockets and Warriors are going to play after what happened in Game 6 last night. Here we go. There's Steph. Looking to close out the series. Rockets looking to force a Game 7. Warriors down 8. Dylan Brooks on Steph, and Steph's like, yeah, whatever, bro. Look at the shot. Falling down, one-handed off glass. Golden State down 5 because Steph made the free throw. He just takes a chill pill on the court. 2 minutes to play. Warriors down 3. Curry, 3. Ties the game. My man had his own personal 11-0 run. Final seconds of the first half. Jalen Green to Amen Thompson. Thompson, jump shot over Draymond. Down the other way we go. Draymond's going to find Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy buckets with the answer. And the foul. Man, I don't know what he was thinking, but he needs to think it all the time. That was ridiculous. Warriors down 5 going into the half. Let's go all the way to the fourth quarter. First play of the fourth. Rockets up 2. Fred VanVleet. And the foul. Converts to 4-point play. He has been balling of late. More on that in a minute. Later, Alperen Şengün back at Butler down. A little spin action. Rockets up 6. Later, Thompson. Tough layup. Got it to fall. Rockets up 8. That one over Quentin Post. Under 7 minutes to go. Rockets up 9. Şengün layup, no. Butler grabs the rebound. He turns it over. Şengün to VanVleet. Give it to Fred because that's what he does. 29 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. Rockets up 12. Later, Green, Butler, 3. No. On the other end, Şengün's going to get it and finding Steven Adams. And Adams is a strong, tall man. Rockets dominating the fourth quarter up 17. They go on to win 115-107, forcing Game 7. Steph Curry, what happened, man?
There were times we would make a run, we couldn't get over the hump, and now you understand there was pressure to win on your home floor. They're playing great. Like, you got to give them credit. It's not like we're just laying an egg and rolling over. We're fighting. We're trying to compete. There's just, in the margins, some things that we can do better and control what we can control. And I think we can do that in Game 7.
All right, so we head to a decisive Game 7 where both franchises have had their fair share of success, Shay. The Rockets have 7 wins all-time in Game 7s. That is tied for 3rd most all-time, behind only the Celtics and the Lakers. Meanwhile, the Warriors are 3-1 in Game 7s under Steve Kerr, including 2-0 on the road. One of those wins was in Houston back in 2018. Oh, look.
Fred VanVleet.
What?
Fred VanVleet. Every time that name gets me.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a thing.
I like how you made me repeat it, though. I appreciate you.
Fred VanVleet put on a show last night. 20 points, 4 or 5 from 3 through 3 quarters. The Rockets and the Warriors. Early in the fourth quarter, VanVleet again. And the foul. Huge shot. Houston up 6 after that free throw. And then they just like, let's put this team away, shall we? Gives it to Şengün. Missed the layup. Jimmy Butler tries to save it. Şengün says, I'll take that back, and I'm going to get it out to my man. And that's my man throwing down. 29 points, 6 of 9 from 3 for Fred as he gets another one to go. I mean, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Rockets win the game. They force Game 7 in Houston tomorrow. Fred VanVleet just continuing his hot stretch. Over his last 3 games, he's averaging nearly 27 points on 59% shooting and 67% on threes. VanVleet, the first Rockets player with 25 or more points in consecutive games when facing elimination in the postseason since James Harden back in 2015. Let us say good morning to NBA analyst Quentin Richardson and senior Anscape writer David Dennis Jr. Q, let me start with you. The Warriors essentially waving the white flag in Game 5 to go for the win in Game 6 at home. That did not happen. Explain exactly what did happen down the stretch in Golden State last night.
Actually, it was something that we might not have expected from the veteran-laden Warriors, man. It seemed like everything began to go the Rockets' way. 50-50 balls, loose balls, Like you heard Draymond in the press conference say that the team that wants the ball more usually gets it, and you're not used to the Warriors not being that team. And last night, everything began to snowball. You see the turnovers, you see the loose balls, you see the 50-50 balls, and then Fred VanVleet went crazy. And not only that, he had the two big men down inside outmatching and outworking the Warriors on the inside. So everything kind of went bad for them last night in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you mentioned you don't expect that from a veteran-laden team. David, you wanted to go?
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree there. I mean, that fourth quarter started off on the wrong foot with Gary Payton II fouling Fred VanVleet 6 seconds into that quarter on a three-point play, which sort of begs a larger question here is if Gary Payton II is really the guy to be guarding Fred VanVleet. We've seen him being cooked by this dude, and, you know, if you got Gary Payton out there, the things you want him to do are to play defense, and he's not scoring. They're leaving him wide open, and he's too small to get those rebounds. So, you know, he's sort of a net negative. The team overall is 7 for 23 in open threes last night, and the Rockets are leaving guys wide open, which is why, for me, I think that they should probably go to Moses Moody a little bit more to defend Fred VanVleet. He was there at the beginning of the season when VanVleet was struggling. He's got some length. He's 39% from three, and he can crash those boards. I think that may be an adjustment that can help quell some of that Fred VanVleet stuff, but this dude is on the heater right now.
Yeah, they need to do something to adjust. Listen to this. VanVleet has 3 straight 25-point games. For the first time in his playoff career, he's made 18 three-pointers over that span, which is a franchise postseason record. That is just ridiculous. All right, Q, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler combining to play in 9 Game 7s. That is one fewer than the entire Rockets team. Where are you putting your money, on Golden State's experience or Houston's momentum going into Game 7?
Listen, this is a tough one for me right here, Jay. I mean, I've been rolling with the Warriors' experience the last couple, and right now it hasn't yielded me anything. Right now, we all know that when you get to Game 7, everything kind of goes out the window. So I don't know if we should throw the experience out the window, because if Golden State goes and wins, everybody will say, well, the experience is what won it for them. But I don't know, man. I think right now, I'm on the side of momentum, because the way that the Warriors haven't responded to the way that the Rockets have played against them the last couple games. And even though, like I just said, we can throw all of it out the window for Game 7, because Game 7 just comes down to that one singular game. Who shows up, who performs well, everything else goes out the window. So right now, I don't know who to pick. I got my hands in the air right now, but I can't. I simply can't go with the experience and the veteran stuff with the Warriors, because it hasn't shown up these last few games.
Yeah, well, I kind of don't know either, but I'm going to stand on business a little bit and go with the Warriors. I'm going to make a pick right now and say the Warriors. And it is, yeah, I would do that. It's a little bit based on that experience that we're talking about. We know what Steph Curry can do. He's averaged 32.6, 7, and 6.5 in Game 7. And we saw what he did in the last Game 7 he had against the Kings, putting up a 50-burger. Jimmy Butler just went into Boston and won a Game 7 and almost won another one in the Game 7 against Boston. They have that experience, but they got to figure that big man lineup, Q, that you mentioned. They got to figure out that zone that kept them missing 15 of their first 16 shots in that fourth quarter. And they got to figure out Steven Adams. He is a plus 53 while on the court. All of those things matter. I think the Warriors may need a third scorer to help, but I am leaning on playoff Jimmy, Game 7 Steph to pull this one out.
We will see. We will see. Game 7. Looking forward to it. Q, David, always a pleasure. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, what's better than one Game 7? We got 2 Game 7s now in this first round, and I'm with two gentlemen who know a thing or two about that. Bob Myers, I want to start with you here, because you've been on the other side of being up 3-1 with the Golden State Warriors and having another team come all the way back. Can you just take us inside the locker room right now? The level of intensity, maybe it's a little bit tense. What happens when you're forced into a Game 7 on the road?
Well, I don't think any of the Warriors players expected this outcome.
Yeah.
I don't think any of their coaching staff expected this outcome. So you're going to have to deal with that pain for a little bit and let that sit there, because I think Game 5, the way it played out, I think a lot of the players on the Warriors thought, well, we'll just go home and we'll win that game and the series will be over.
Problem.
You got to get back on a plane now tomorrow, Malika, and everything's changed, right? Now Houston feels great. It's not just about how you feel, though. It's about what Perk and I were talking about the strategy. This too big lineup now, going into the game, Steven Adams and Alfred Şengün were plus 31 in 54 minutes. I'd like to see what they are now. And it's that number has gone up. So what is Steve Kerr going to do to respond to that? He tried to start Gary Payton, and that mixed results. But I love Game 7s. Been on both sides. Obviously, the finals lost, and then came back on Perkins, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oklahoma City.
You're Oklahoma City Thunder.
I was gone.
You played in 7
You were
Game
still there in
7s.
some capacity.
You have experienced 7 Game 7s under your belt here, Perk. When you're the Houston Rockets side of all this, I loved what Mike Breen said. It's not necessarily shocking for the Houston Rockets because they've had such an excellent season, but being able to be so young, go on the road, snatch this game from Golden State, and now you're kind of playing with house money.
They are playing with house money, but they stay true to themselves and who they are, right? Make a miss. They defend it at a high level. That's who this Houston Rockets team is. And they get physical. You talk about those two towers down there in Steven Adams and Şengün. I mean, they was just working out. And I don't know if Golden State have an answer for that, right? Like, I could call out Draymond and say, hey, what are you going to do at 6'5" with those two monsters? Maybe you go to Von Looney. But here's the guy, Fred VanVleet, right?
Great.
8 rebounds, 8 assists, what he had tonight, 29 points, championship leader, floor general, kept his guys under control, controlled the pace of the game, did it on both ends of the floor, went in there and got a victory.
The one image that I do have in my head, though, is Steph Curry after the final buzzer sounded with Brandon Pajemski, with Jimmy Butler. I do not know what they were saying, but it looked like they're still on the sidelines chatting some things over. If anybody knows this moment, it is Steph Curry.
But
and
one
now
thing
they
you
head
can't
in.
chat up is heart, so you better bring that on the plane.
Game 7, here we go.